So this video has been in the works for a couple of weeks now. We went to the polls 2 months ago. Well, let me say the American people went to the polls 2 months ago, and while I had most of my notes already kind of written out, I wanted to give it time to see would anything come up or would anything change. And to my knowledge, nothing has changed, nothing's come up. Nothing's been argued. It is what it is. So, excuse me, I'm trying to eat a little something here. So we'll just jump straight into it. No need for any preamble or anything. Let's get straight into it. On July 21st, 2024, President Joe Biden dropped out of the race to become the U.S. president for a second term. Excuse me? A sitting president dropping out of a re-election campaign? A sitting president dropping out of a re-election campaign. That is unprecedented and never before seen in the history of U.S. elections, which have been happening since, the U.S. has been having elections since 1784, 1780s, well over 200 years. No sitting president has dropped out of a re-election campaign in over 200 years, so just keep that in mind. This move by the former president will logically lead to some questions being asked by an inquisitive mind. More than who's going to take over, or why is he dropping out, what made him drop out, yada, yada, yada. You know, an inquisitive mind would ask, where did the money go that he raised? Why did the money go there? Who told President Joe Biden to drop out of the race? Because as far as the American people knew, as far as the news outlets covered it, he planned to stay in the race. He had, and it's documented. It's on YouTube. It's in the archives of CNN, Fox, MSNBC, CNBC, ABC, CBS. It's in the archives where he's publicly stating, I'm going to stay in this race, I'm going to finish this race, yada, yada, yada. So, one would ask, who convinced Joe Biden to drop out of the race? But this video is, this isn't about Joe Biden. Although his name may be brought up again a couple of times, who's to say? This video isn't about him. This video belongs to, let me not say that. This video is concerning the nominee, the Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris. This lady, I don't have, I'm still on my thought, this lady. Put this in parentheses. I don't have enough time to cover politicians in all 50 states. There's just not enough time in the day. It's 50 states and only 48 hours in a day. It's not enough time to keep up with all 50 states and all of the counties in those 50 states, those legislators, those what are they? The prosecutors, all those important people that with those big titles. So it would be unfair for me to say that she was relatively unknown, because she was known in California, in her state, where she, made her bones in politics. She may have been known there. I had never heard anything about Kamala Harris until 2020, when President Joe Biden was elected. Up until then, I had never heard of Miss Kamala Harris. So we'll just keep it moving from there. Without going into Kamala's background too much, she's an American-born citizen of multiracial descent. Her mother is of Indian descent. Her father is an African-American. Before we put on our scuba gear here, Harris claimed on television to be black, yet nothing she said could be further from the truth. So let me just reiterate that Kamala Harris claimed to be a black American, yet we know she does not internally feel this way. How could I justify saying she doesn't internally feel this way? We could simply look at the boxes she checks when she goes to vote, when she gets her driver's license, any type of surveys and things she fills out. I highly doubt she's checking black. I just don't believe in my heart she's checking black. I know she's not. I could be right or wrong about that, but I'm willing to bet a house on it. She's not marking black. So anyway, being that I'm an African American, an American African, or Black American, whatever they call it nowadays, whatever the politically correct term is, being that I'm a black American citizen myself, I'm aware that there are certain characteristics and qualities that confirm one's claim to this heritage. All jokes aside, Harris has never in her political career attempted to better the quality of black American lives. Go back and look at what I said now. All throughout her political career, entailing her time as a prosecutor, what she did before she was a prosecutor, before then, after being a prosecutor, legislator, vice president, presidential nominee, nothing she's done in that time was done to better the quality of black American lives. So she did, however, attend an HBCU and join an African American fraternity. Yet she's unmarried. I was about to make a mistake. Yet she didn't marry a black man, nor have black children. That speaks volumes. You, man, 1 out of every 10 million people that attend the HBCU, and these numbers aren't concrete. The point I'm trying to make is people that attend HBCUs people that attend HBCUs and join African American fraternities typically marry within that African American demographic. So it's not looking good for the whole black thing. And there's people that would agree. Uh, you attend an HBCU and you join, a historically black fraternity, and don't marry a black guy, something's up with it. You don't consider yourself, or you consider yourself too good for or better than a black male. So let's just keep that in the back of our heads. So now she proudly parades her white stepchildren around, plays board games with the mixed race nieces. Yet, with Kamala Harris, if her father is black, where are her black relatives? Where are those nappy head cousins at? Nobody's heard from them at all. Did they sign NDAs? You claiming to be black, but we don't see any. We've seen nobody but you. We've seen nobody but you. No, you have no offspring. You have no black relatives. How can we validate your claim? We as a demographic, how can we validate your claim, Ms. Harris? It's not looking good again. 2 instances. We could technically say 3, but we'll leave fraternity and the college you attended and graduated from. We'll leave that in 1. So it's 2 instances. It's hard to validate what's really going on now. Her father, if he's black or whatever, where are his aunts and uncles? Where are his grandparents? I'm sure his grandparents may be deceased, but where are his, brothers and sisters? Where are his outside children? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, what's going on here? Her father had never had any other children. She's the only one. It's a possibility, but slim possibility. So there, my first point is being made. Where it's hard for me to validate your blackness, Miss Harris. One would presume that would be pivotal in securing a majority of the black vote, just for us to see your black relatives and know that there's going to be some black people in the White House. That would be pivotal. That would be absolutely groundbreaking to the black community, to see some little nappy head, some of us running around in the most powerful office in the nation. You can't produce that, Ms. Harris, because it was probably untrue. Let's keep in mind that securing a majority of the black vote won't win an American election, because black Americans only make up 10 or 12% of the population. So it won't win an election per se to just get that one demographic. But it would most definitely influence those that vote the way black people vote to vote along with us. We know how influential we are. We know everything we do is pretty much copied, pasted, stolen from us. So securing our vote definitely would secure another 20 or 30% of the population. Definitely, without a doubt. So we'll move along. The attempt made by Ms. Harris to secure the black vote was actually a slap in the face to all black Americans. And so glad we did not put her in office, because that would have set us back 500 or 600 years, honestly. Ms. Harris attempted to hold rallies in certain cities with a high black demographic, or with a majority black demographic. She did not bring out any educators. She did not bring out any mothers, any sons, any fathers, any sisters, any brothers. She brought out celebrities. She brought out Quavo, Megan Thee Stallion, just to name a few. Kamala Harris made a big point about lowering the gun violence statistic in America. Yet she brought Quavo to a rally. Quavo notoriously raps about black on black crime, using guns against other black people. You know, is glamorizing what he claims that he's glamorizing the life he claims he used to live, which involves violence, street violence, gangs, drugs, inner city, just foolishness. Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know who she was supposed to appeal to. She's known for dancing seductively. Megan Thee Stallion is not. She doesn't represent any portion of educated black females. I hope she doesn't. I hope you ladies with education ain't, limiting yourselves to dancing and rapping and music videos. Anyway. Saying that to say, she made a very poor attempt to attract black voters in her rallies. Contrary to popular belief, black American voters are more informed than ever before. We not gonna stand for that foolishness. The stuff she did, trying to, I don't know, maybe she was trying to appeal to younger voters, but even young voters, they don't want to be looked at as Quavos or Megan Thee Stallions. Do they have families? Quavo and Megan Thee Stallion, are they raising children, or sending their children? No, and that doesn't resonate with us. A bunch of jewelry and black on black crime, that doesn't resonate with potential voters. And the people that's not voting, that's what incites them. That gets them going. So I don't know. Very poor campaign management or marketing management, and very bad. So we'll just move along. My notes say, because I anticipated putting this video out much sooner, but I decided to let it, to see would anything change or would anything come up. So my notes say the results are still fresh and analytics are relatively sketchy at the moment, but it'd be safe to presume that Harris misinterpreted the representation she thought she garnered due to the color of her skin. The color of her skin does not match mine. The texture of her hair does not match mine, or any of my relatives, or any of my cohorts, or any of my, people that I've known, or people that I know that are black. She doesn't match up to us. I can speak on this alone for days. could speak on this alone for days. But what's done is done. Harris showed that she understands very little about black people in 2024, and it's quite sad. Yet, moving right along to her lack of children, which, believe it or not, played a monumental role in white and Hispanic votes in the election campaign. All we leave behind on earth is our children. Harris's lack of the aforementioned negates points she could have gained had she chosen not to be so selfish. People don't want you making laws that could affect their children or what they may leave to their children. Not to say that anybody in particular makes laws with children in mind, per se, but talking about and making plans for the future involves foresight with children in mind, because they're next to take the reins in due time. I was gonna expand on that, but I'm not gonna expand. We'll just keep moving. According to Ballotpedia, her campaign focused on reducing child poverty. Yet, as a prosecutor in the Los Angeles or California area, or whatever district she was in, she was famous for incarcerating men at an alarming rate. So you want to reduce child poverty, but you want to take the breadwinners out of the home? I'm not understanding what the correlation. I'm not understanding. Wait, let me backtrack. So you want to reduce child poverty, yet you want to take the breadwinners out of the home. You want to lock them up for a little marijuana or yada, yada, yada. So I'm not understanding how now all of a sudden you want to reduce child poverty. It doesn't go hand in hand to lock the fathers up and reduce child poverty. It doesn't go hand in hand. So universal background checks. She stated that required ID to vote is racist, which doesn't make a ton of sense. Actually, it makes no sense at all. You need an ID to do anything in this country. So why is voting any different? She wanted to ban assault rifles, infringing on freedoms that Americans enjoy. Banning assault rifles will not deter people from committing violence with weapons. If you take the assault rifle, what can they not go buy a shotgun? What's the difference? What's the difference? If you ban guns, you're gonna have a bunch of people stabbing people. It's gonna be even more brutal, more chaotic. It's gonna be much worse. Go do some research. Go look at Great Britain. Great Britain, maybe 5% of the police force has guns. So nobody in Great Britain has guns legally. So they have stabbings. They don't have shootings. They have stabbings. Would you rather? Neither is good. But I mean, would you rather an ice storm or a rainstorm? Would you rather a school shooting or a school stabbing? You know? Come on, man. Like the notes say, I could expand on that topic as well. I'm not gonna expand. It's cut and dry. According to CNN, Kamala Harris's campaign raised $250 million. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? $250 million $250 million in a matter of 4 months. Not only raised the money, spent every penny of it. In 4 months, travel, ads, billboards, stage production, what else? I mean, there's no way you should, no, not in 4 months. And if they did, they should have let me manage it. Because it would be money there to end some child poverty, believe it or not. If they'd let me manage that $250 million in 4 months. But we'll move on. The New York Times reported that she raised $1.5 billion. So what's the actual number? What's really going on? Harris made males, and white males in particular, her enemy. You cannot go against the ruling class in America and expect to win. Now, you might, but it's highly unlikely. White males in America run America. If you piss them off, you make them upset, your chances of completing or succeeding at anything is going to be very slim. It's never happened before in the history of the country. It's probably never going to happen. White people have meetings, believe it or not. I'm letting you know this. I'm putting it out there. White people have meetings. These podcasts, they're not just podcasts. White people are just putting their meetings out in public now and just seeing who agrees or who doesn't agree with them. So, take that for what it's worth. You have nationalist movements happening in the country. People want America. Americans want America to be back, on top, and where a dollar can go. A dollar used to go, far. $20 used to go very far in America. $20 today is a bottle of shampoo, just about. You know it's true. You know it's true. I know it's true. And it's, some of us are tired of it. Some of us not going to work any harder. Some of us are tired of it. So, you got the KKK. You're going to piss off the KKK, Kamala, and expect to win? You know the people in those meetings. You know they wear white hoods. Also, keep in mind that Kamala Harris is not the first woman to run for president. There have been women before. Most famous of them probably would be Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is a millionaire. 10 or so times over, 100 times over. She's got experience. Her husband was president. She served as his first lady. She was his wife. I shouldn't say served as first lady. She was his wife, so she was in the White House. She's got experience. She's got a law background. I believe she was a prosecutor or a lawyer as well. So let's just look at Hillary Clinton's chart. We'll compare it to Kamala Harris's chart. Hillary Clinton is a white female, which is, we can put a point by white. It doesn't matter about female. Put a point by white. She is a law student, well, ex-law student, got a degree in law. Her husband was president. She's got money out of the world, connections out of the world. Um, you know, believe it or not, she's killed more people than Osama bin Laden and Obama, and has the power to get more people killed. And compare that to Kamala Harris's chart, mixed race, so she doesn't belong to anybody. She's of mixed descent. She is a law degree holder. She's not a millionaire. She married outside of her race with no children. That's about all she's got going for her. She was VP for 4 years, so I don't know what I even count that as experience. It's not the same as First Lady. It's not the same as First Lady. Compare those points. Now, if they didn't let Hillary Clinton win the presidency, do you think they was gonna let Kamala Harris win? Also, Kamala Harris is like 5'3". You can't send her overseas and have her telling the Saudi Arabians they can't even measure their wealth. It's past trillion, quadrillion. It's past quadrillion, past centillion. It's unmeasurable. They have unmeasurable wealth. You think they're gonna let a little 5'3" lady come tell them what to do with their money, or that they can or cannot raise the price of oil? Come on, man. Come on, man. You think they was gonna send her over there to Russia to tell them Russians what they can and can't do? It was the cards were clearly stacked against Ms. Harris, and she was not necessarily a scapegoat. Just they just needed somebody up there to give Trump a run for his money. Because if you look at the election results, Trump beat her pretty bad. I think she get 100 delegate votes? I don't really remember. We can go look it up now and see. I'm not even going. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She didn't win. She wasn't gonna win. She was elevated to the Democratic nominee before the Democratic National Convention even took place. Unprecedented, and never before seen in the history of American elections. Joe Biden dropped out of his re-election campaign. Unprecedented. They already had a replacement. Unprecedented. Just because you drop out of a race does not mean your VP is up next. That's not how it goes. That's not the way history books, that's not the way school textbooks have it written. That's not the way history has ever seen it happen. It's not supposed to happen like that. The nail in the coffin for Ms. Harris was her unwillingness to concede defeat. That was it for her there. That really showed people that she was kind of cast, just kind of thrusted into that role and expected to play her part. I'm no pundit. I'm really not. I'm an independent pundit, an independent journalist. That was the evidence there that some powerful people, some powerful people, put her into their position, and they experimented with their power. Power was not greater than the American people's will. We wanted a new president. We wanted Trump. To just be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. All of us wanted Trump. Me personally, I didn't vote, but about 60% of us wanted to see Trump in office. Now, believe it or not, I have friends. I got people I know that didn't vote for Trump. Why? I don't know. Should they have? Yes, they should have. But they didn't. And that doesn't mean that we're not buddies or that, anything like that. We just see things differently. They were swayed by the ads, by the amount of funding that Kamala Harris put into her campaign, and the billboards and the advertisements on Facebook, the posts on Instagram by her and her campaign officials. They were swayed by all of that. So we all know that propaganda exists, and that's all that was. It was just propaganda. It was propaganda, man. Everything is pretty much propaganda. So, that's another video for another topic. We will we'll leave it here. I thought maybe some things would change, some things would come out. She's not even in the news anymore. They're not even reporting on her anymore. They've moved on. The system will do this to you. The system will use you up and wring you out and dispose of you to never be heard from again. Stay vigilant. Stay viral. The revolution will not be televised. Signing out.